break their own business down, go against what they want without even knowing it. Without even, you might be laughing at something and say, "Oh, I'm dead" or "I'm dying." It's power in the tongue, man. Why would you say that about yourself? You know, it's it's a lot of different phrases that we're used to using, right? That we don't really look at like this is bad. I shouldn't say this, but I gotta call them out. I gotta talk about them because I feel like a lot of the reason why we don't succeed when we don't succeed is because of little things that we looked over, right? Paying attention to detail is super important. And you know that to get a big step, you got to take a bunch of several small steps. So I want to ask a question about watching your mouth today, man. Um, Coach, what is one way what is one way that you have watched your mouth that you have learned, all right, certain things I shouldn't say. What's one way that you remind yourself of those things, even though they may be habitual?
Man, let me tell you something. When I was younger, I learned this most valuable lesson in life of how powerful the mind is. That's why you got to watch what you think as well, because what you think is what you are. In the same way, how you think it, as soon as you start speaking out your mouth, you either can weaponize it or use it for good. But when I was young, I didn't realize that power, and people can call it a coincidence or whatever, but we were coming from North Carolina. I did not want to leave because that's where my dad was in North Carolina, and we came back up to Maryland. And my mom had said something that had like really pissed me off, but of course, me being young, I knew not to say nothing to her. Now I'm gonna get smacked in my mouth, so I was like, I said, I hope you get pulled over by a car. I said it to myself, y'all. And in less than 2 minutes, we riding through Sligo Creek, Tacoma Park, Maryland, and my mom get pulled over. You talking about some shit that scared the shit out of me? I said I'd never do nothing like that again. You know what I mean? Because that really was the power of my emotions, tongue, and all. And I realized how much power I had then. People might not want to take that for what it was, but it was the gracious of God that all he did was give my mom a warning. She started crying to the cop. I learned some shit that day, how women could really play roles that they need to and all of that. And it worked. She started crying. She said, "I've been really stressing you boys." And the officer said, "Don't worry about it, ma'am." Gave her her ID and let us go. But it was just the fact of what I did. I knew that wasn't right. So,
yeah. And the way the faster way to manifest something is by tying emotion to it, right? So whether it be happiness, sadness, anger, whatever the emotion is, once you tie, so it's all about vibrations. It's all about when you saying something out loud, when you thinking something out loud, we don't norm the law of attraction is not about attracting something. It's not about bringing something to you. What you're doing is vibrating on the same frequency as something. And when you do that, you then attract it or you then get closer to it. It's just the law of physics. So what happened when Coach was and when he was angry, it pissed him off and he thought that vibrational frequency attracted that situation to him because he was already feeling a certain way when he thought it, right? It's the same way that I always tell people to get excited. The reason I tell you to get excited is because what you're excited about, you will start to vibrate on the frequency of. So if I say you want $1 million, act like you already have $1 million. I don't mean spend it. I mean, feel how you would feel if you had $1 million. The moment you start feeling like that and you tell yourself I got this or I got that, you're going to start attracting money. Situations are going to transpire that you can gain more money. Why? Because now you're operating on the frequency of having that money. But when you say I want $1 million, you're operating on the frequency of wanting $1 million, and that's the reason you don't have it, right? So the emotion tied to the intention is what's going to bring you what you want out of life. And Coach just proved that. He said it was less than 2 minutes. It happened that quickly because the emotion was that intense. Thank you for that, Coach.
That shit scared the hell out of me. It scared the hell out of me, man. It's like, nah, man, that's not something you should be figuring out at age 9 years old. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be. That's not something, especially being the fact that I was going through what I was going through. But like I said, man, it's the grace of God for real, man. That and people can call it the Most High, whatever they believe in. I just know that there's a higher power that's really had a strong hold on my life, put me in the right people, put me with the right people to keep me from being that negative person that I could have been. So yeah, man, that powerful. That tongue is powerful.
Yeah. So remember yesterday I don't know if it was yesterday, but we talked about affirmations. The reason that affirmations are so important is because you gotta watch your mouth. I wouldn't necessarily speak negatively on something that I want to see transpire into positivity, right? So even in the moments when you feel like your life is going to shit, even when I stump my toe, even when I break a bottle I'm supposed to be selling by accident or something, that emotion, however I feel in that moment, I always use it towards my game, right? So even if I'm very, very, very angry and upset, I'm still going to say something contrary to how I feel, because I know that emotion is going to attract what I'm saying and not what I'm actually feeling, right? So if I just lose all my money on the street, I'm like, dang, I'm so happy and grateful that I made all of that money back plus some. Instead of saying, I'm so angry about losing the money or whatever the case may be, right? My whole thing is never, ever speak on the negative. Only speak on the positive, even when the situation is negative, and watch what happens. I do this all the time. Y'all know I just was in hotels for 69 nights straight. I recounted it. It was 69 nights. We talking about July 28th all the way to October the 5th. And every single day, I ain't gonna say every single day, but most days I did not know what we was doing the next day. I had no idea. I'm like, we gotta check out at 11. I don't know what the fuck we about to do after 11 o'clock. We going to the park for 4 hours because we can't check into the next joint until 3 o'clock. So during those negative moments, I always was telling myself, man, I'm so happy and grateful now that we have our own living space. Oh, I gotta check out of this, man. I'm so happy we got our own house. I ain't have shit yet. I didn't even have a place to go view. But me saying all of that is what got me to this point, man. So
it was your spirit being so resilient. You know what I mean? You're a resilient person. You make sure that regardless, you're going to make a way out of no way. You're going to do what you have to do to make sure that you and your family are comfortable and that y'all survive. That's that resilience.
Yeah. So it's a lot of components to being successful. I mean, it's not just about saying it, and it's not just about feeling it, and it ain't just about taking action, and it ain't just about writing it down 3 times in the morning and thinking about it and none of that. For real, to be honest, it's about all of those things combined. It's about all of those things in one, right, Coach? Because if you don't take the action, it don't matter what you're asking for.
Hey, you remember that cartoon Voltron back in the day?
Uh-huh. I know Power Rangers copied off of them.
Hey, you remember Voltron, JD? What did they do with each of the parts? The arms, the legs, the body, the head. Those are the different components that have to work together that you were just speaking on, Jay. That's the reason why if you don't have one, you don't have none. Because you need them all to work together in unison.
Yep. It's just like Captain Planet with the rings and stuff. And that's a resonating message inside of these children's shows that we need to work together. You know what I mean?
That's why you don't really see them on air anymore.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. We definitely don't. It's a lot of shows from my childhood that aren't that no longer exist, But you gotta watch your mouth though, man. You gotta speak on your situation in a positive manner. You have to, and when you're speaking on it, don't ask. Assume the sale. ABC, always be closing. Don't ask for success. Affirm your success, right? Don't say, I hope that I make $200 today. Say, I'm so happy now that I made $200 today. I don't care what's in your pocket. Because when you vibrate on the result, then you'll become the result. But if you vibrate on the journey or the going through it, then you're gonna keep going through it. I'm trying to tell you.
And man, Asia, Lavon, and I was in the room earlier, and I just wish you could have been in there, because you talk about a room of us just speaking life into each other. Yeah, that's why I said with this title, it means so much. Yeah, when you talk about the power of the tongue, along with your emotions and your spirit, we were really speaking life into each other this morning. And it was so divine. It was meant. Because like I told you, I went to sleep last night like around 7:30. And for me to be up this morning, like earlier than I usually be on, believe me, it was divine for me to be there. Just to be in that room with them too.
It was. And then to see what you put up here, it's like it all fell in line, and it is about watching your mouth. I used to have this thing. You say, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself. I used to love that song to the point where I put a video behind it. And I had like this whole, I had like this whole epiphany one day, and I decided to share it with my social media. It's about 3 years ago, probably 3 or 4 years ago. And when I saw it said, watch your mouth. I said, and in my mind, I'm like, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself, because you can wreck yourself with your mouth. And like Coach said, it's been things that I thought about, and instantly it happens. Like literally, my ex-boyfriend, we had a situation, and I said, he gonna end up in an accident. I said, I know for a fact he gonna get in an accident. So I was trying to get him to get out his car and get in the car with me, because I know he had been drinking. And I'm like, man, you cannot drink and drive. You're going to get into an accident. It got to the point where I had ended up following him, because I knew it in my spirit that man was going to get into an accident. And sure enough, that man got into an accident, real bad accident. So like, when God gives you those thoughts, we try sometimes to change our mind real quickly. But when he showed it to you, you got to acknowledge it. But if you know it's something that's coming from you because you're in a bad space, or because you want to see it to happen, it can happen too. So just think about that. Like, even when I have a grandma, she passed away. She's my step-grandma. And God told me to take a picture of her. I was coming up from not my grandson, my nephews, because my sisters are almost like my kids. But I was coming up from my nephews and my nieces, their christening. And on my way up the road, God was like, take a picture with her. You don't have not one picture with her. And I'm like, God, why you want me to take a picture with her? Like, but he said, you never know, it might be your last picture. And I'm like, why I gotta take a picture of this woman? Like, ain't nothing gonna happen. I mean, I'm really in my mind, like really wrestling with the thought of why I gotta take a picture with her, because God specifically told me it was gonna be my last picture with her. I went in that house and I avoided wanting to take a picture with her, to the point where my cousin came into the house and said, Mama told me to take a picture with you and for us to take a picture because we don't have no recent pictures of you. And I'm looking, I said, you know what? I better get in this picture. And we went and celebrated my Uncle Kenneth's pastoral anniversary. That following Sunday, they found her dead. So your mind is a very powerful tool. And when God leads you, you got to see it through. But if you know it's coming from you that is not of God, then you got to immediately change that thought.
Yeah.
I would like to add something to that. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can.
All right. Since Asia bringing God into this, have you guys read the passage of scripture over in, I think it's Proverbs 13 and 2, which says, a man shall eat Absolutely. You know, so I ran across that yesterday. I'm like, man, this is powerful. And one of the reasons why I'm saying that particular scripture is powerful, me and Coach and another brother was talking on yesterday about some things we're going to work on. But the reality of it is this: the fruit of our mouth, if we keep our mouths closed, we don't get fed, right? And when the fruit of our mouth is this: when you are able to serve other people simply by opening your mouth, that's powerful to me.
Yeah, that is super powerful, bro. And can you tell me the script? You said it's Proverbs what again?
13:2.
13:2. Yes, sir. Appreciate that, man. I need that. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely use that. But yeah, I definitely do eat by the mouth, man. I think that another good example of watching your mouth, and like we talked about not caring about what other people think yesterday. Some people say that Kanye should have watched his mouth. And I say that Kanye is using his mouth to really manifest with. He got a song called Can't Tell Me Nothing, right? He said, wait till I get my money right. You can't tell me nothing. We're watching this happen in front of our eyes, right? All of the things that he has said throughout his career that he was going to make happen and do, he is doing them. And there's a positive and negative to everything, right? So the people that are saying he should have watched his mouth, he shouldn't have said this, he shouldn't have said that, it gives a little coonish vibe, because when Kanye, said what he said about black people, or said anything that was perceived against black people, no one was canceled, no one was taken off of nothing, no one was punished in any way. As soon as he said, hey man, I don't like what the Jewish community does and how they capitalize off of my people, and we're actually the Jews, they're just Jewish. Because if I say I'm gonna be there at 10ish, if I say I'm gonna be there at 10 o'clock, you can expect me there at 10 o'clock. But if I say I'm gonna be there at 10ish, I might not see you till 11:15. Right? So the nationalities is confused, the religion is confused, and him speaking on what he spoke on really put him in the forefront to manifest the city he's building, the ecosystem, put him on the forefront to break away from those bad contracts he was in. So, watching your mouth is really important, man. You can make so many things. Like Kanye made the getting along to get along happen with his mouth. And then he made the breaking away happen with his mouth as well. So you can do powerful things.
Hey, Jay, I go even deeper than that. That man said something about a president not caring about black people doing a damn fundraiser and nothing happened to him.
Exactly.
You feel me? So it's not like nobody's been off limits. It's just the fact that he proved his point. Even when he wore the White Lives Matter shirt, he proved his point. Nobody canceled him or none of that until he started talking about the people that is really using these statutory laws to protect them. That's what they're doing.
Yep. And purposely distributing music that's going to destroy the people that consume the music, and then spew generations of other people that's going to regurgitate and then reabsorb and then regurgitate and then reabsorb. And then it's been happening since gangster rap, man. I don't know if y'all know. I don't know. I know Coach know, but I don't know if y'all know on the at the height of hip hop, when Public Enemy and you got X Clan, and you know what I'm saying, you got rappers like Rakim on the top tops of the charts, right? Tops of the charts. Next thing you know, the 90s come along and they like, yo, let's cut this check to these gangster rappers and make that the main thing. NWA ruined the world, bro. But they didn't do it on purpose. They didn't do it intentionally. They were just expressing themselves. Express yourself. That's all they were doing. But these people like Rick Rubin and these other executives weaponized them expressing themselves, and that's why we have the music and the generational curses that we have today. What up, Monifa? How you feel?
How you doing, Monifa? That go back to, you know what else that go back to? What Jay-Z said. How Jay-Z has said about what we eat. Go right back to that Proverbs. That's what they fed us. And they knew what they were doing. What you eat is what you are, right?
You damn Skippy.
Good morning, everyone. How are y'all? I'm doing good.
Good morning, Monifa. Hope you're having a great day. For real.
Good morning.
Well, and it's like what Murph is saying too. You know, with everything, there's a positive and a negative, and so knowing that it's about how we move going forward, what plays we're going to make. You know, we have an opportunity just by using our mouth to change generations, to restructure things, to give our people a new way of thinking with just by using our mouth. And you know, and one of the things that something that Merch just said, what Kanye said in that song, wait until I get my money right. And so there's when you get your money right, when our bank accounts are right, we can say and move however we want to move. So we need to be in a place where not only is our money right, but it's continuing to grow automatically every single day. If we put the right play in place, our net worth increase automatically every single day. And so that's what we need to be focusing on.
And one thing I do want to throw out there is he needs to definitely get him a Cisco a certified Cisco team to really watch over his finances and get some type of system set up, because them people mad at him, and as much money as he has, it's nothing to them to be like, yeah, we had a hack, we had, you know what I'm saying, a breach. And them, you know, sacrifice other people's money just to see his get messed up. So he really needs to have, you know, a great Cisco routing team, you know, in place.
What's the problem?
Security measures.
You know, it's crazy because when he was saying white lives matter just 2 or 3 weeks ago, they was all for Ye. You know, and now that he's revealing what it means, and he's also revealing like different things that can take place, even if he were to remove himself from certain things. It's like now they hate him. The Jewish community, he spoke the truth. The man really did speak the truth. And they hate him now. And it's like they'll love you one day, and after they hate you the next day. You know, and it's very imbalanced. It shows how imbalanced we are as a society.
Facts. And if anybody had a doubt that what he was saying wasn't true, all they did after he said it was prove him 100% correct. He said,
I'm sorry, go ahead, Mitchell.
No, I was just saying that he said basically that once you go against the powers that be, once you say anything that's anywhere near checking the Jewish community for how they exploit the black community, you get canceled. Everybody takes you off their show. People don't want to do business with you. And he even said it during the interview. He said, how long do you think they're going to let you have this on YouTube, Nori? And Nori was like, don't worry about that. We're not worried about that. We love Jewish people. And he was like, yeah, you do. And then he started talking about how we're the Jews as well. And basically, he was just saying that they're going to cancel this interview. They're going to take you down. They're going to do all of it. They're going to make you apologize, all that shit. And then they did it. So if anybody ever had any doubt of what he was saying during the interview, they now have shown us that's exactly what's going to happen.
But you know what? You know what I love, though? At first, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I was mad at the brother. I can't even front. But once I got out of my emotions and I actually started looking at the strategic way that he's taking about this thing, although they might crush him, So he done already said, I'll be that martyr. They might crush me, so what? But what it's going to do is opening up doors to make the world see, like, hold up now. We've been living in one big Wizard of all fuck for the longest time. It's time for us to remove that curtain and get our people back where it need to be. Why do you think Hitler was doing what he was doing now? They always said about Hitler, but never bring up King Leopold. He killed way more Africans in the Congo than any of them could ever claim that they were done. But you don't see nothing for them. So when are we gonna open our eyes and see, like, hold up, this is a one-sided system, and it's time for us to leave this broken ass system alone, or either infiltrate this system and make it right. It's either two ways. It's either you're gonna do it, or you're gonna be like the rest of the ones, keep saying I can't. They too powerful and all. Man, nobody want to hear that shit. Get your ass in the basement where you belong. You come talking at me. You go in a room where a bunch of people are talking about going to the finish line, and your one ass or two ass people come in the room talking about going away from the finish line. We need to identify that and start. There's nothing to really try to discuss with you. All you're doing is slowing up our process. And I hate to hear people saying, well, we need to get, no, you don't need to. What chance do they need to get after they've already exposed themselves? If you realize that this is a snake, are you going to keep reaching your hand down and grab it? No, you're going to get away from it. So we got to get in that mindset, because there's too many people that have an opportunity to have success, and it's always getting short-stopped by this 1 or 2, 3 agents that are sent here to try to keep us from moving forward. They don't care if we don't get to move anywhere forward. They just want to keep us trapped in what they're telling us that we can't do. When they ain't even know shit themselves, tell somebody what they can't do. They just speaking from their point of view. And that's why they need to be in the basement.
And their point of view is fearful because they still a slave. Those people that try to come and stop the progress. What you got, JD Clark?
And when we used to say that people love us, we need to really understand they may love what we can do for them, but it's not the fact that they love us. They don't care for us, right? And we need to be real about that. We need to be okay with that. That other people do not love us. First of all, I need to love myself, and then I need to love my people, right? And I show my love by serving my people. Lifting my people up, bringing opportunity to my people. Because as much as we would love for it to be an ideal world where everyone is going to get together, that ain't going to happen. Especially with other races. Other races seem to know that they are okay with that. And we need to move to a place in our lives where we are okay with that. We are okay if we cut other people off from making money off of our back. Because some of our people, because we have been preconditioned to love those who don't love us and to care about those who don't care about us, to the point where if we're not letting them make money off our back, we feel guilty. I read my mic.
Hey man, you hit it right on the nose, because I've seen it, and it burns me up how comfortable people will be saying that type of stuff. Like, have you seen how comfortable people jump in the room and will say the most ignorant shit, and then not realize that they're being exposed? They're exposing themselves. Nobody has exposure on this app, right? That's one thing I want people to keep this in your mind. When you're on fan base, the only person that can expose you is you. And that's what the things that you say, your thought process, how you just come out with shit. People can tell that you're either full of it or you're just ignorant to the fact. And I see agents too. So we just got to really home in on what we got going on and keep it going. Because we don't want to let these people come in and derail us anymore. Like, times right now are getting hot. The kitchen is getting hot now. So the people that can handle, I'm here with you. If you stand in the kitchen, I'm with you. The ones that ain't, going out to the to the other room and we'll holler at you later. But yeah, man, I just want to be more focused on, like building and not letting people steal bricks from us. I land my plane.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say good morning to you all. And and then I'm gonna get off the air and just listen on side. Good morning.
No.
They mentioned about that Bible. I'm not a Bible people. I'm a different sort. I'm of a different fold. That thing say something about, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, say something about that tongue being an unruly member who could tame it, a wicked and unruly member. But it's glued to our head, so it's going to flip from time to time, and it's a very difficult thing to manage. What we say, the things we choose to commit out of our mouths, that tongue is an unruly member, and it is wicked. And it says, who can manage it? But it also goes on to say that like a ship is guided by that little rudder in the back, so is our tongue. The things that we say, listen, it is a difficult challenge, to say the least, to stay positive. If you listen to the things that I say, I've been practicing being positive for many years. So it comes a little bit more naturally for me at this stage of the game, because if I've practiced keeping words positive while avoiding not. They can't. We don't. Those types of. Watch our conversation just in here right now, and we're on a positive note. But watch how the unruly member distorts the view of where we want to go. Watch how, correct us as we go, and I mean that in a loving way. Correct us as we go when the conversation goes to the other side, rather than stay focused on the hammer hitting the nail. You understand what I mean? We can presume that if a young man at his tender age has amassed enough wealth that he is now in some circles considered to be the richest brother to live since Mansa Musa, can manage it all because he is his own product. If they cause him to lose it today, he can gain it right back tomorrow or thereafter. He's still a very young individual. The idea that what they can do has already defeated what this brother is doing. I don't know. Wow, that's no. They lost that battle a long time ago. Please hear me now. You can believe me later. That young man has already won the battle because he's woken us up to this point, which was the journey then. That song, Merch, I don't know what, we are on some kind of connect right now. I've been singing that song all week long. Wake up, you don't get much brighter than that. You can't tell me how the song, you ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing. Yeah, you can't, not right now. He's on a mission. And it's the best thing is just to listen to where he's headed to, because he's coming from a very pure place. He claimed to be a Christian, so message reaches a particular audience. He bought a platform for a particular audience, and guess who's with him now? That particular, it's amazing how when the power we possess move, it looks so divine and glorious. We're not even doing anything spectacular. We're not even particularly religious about how we move, but we move with such a divine and beautiful spirit and nature, and it's just the way it's like Michael Jordan going up for that dunk. It's a beautiful thing the way we operate, and that glory that we bring to the world is the light of the world, and the beauty of the world is
You already know.
power of our family. This is not new. This is something they've been spending years.
Take the step stool to the sink for 4 so he can wash his head.
Because they know that, you know, we were the upper echelons. They had to come to us to get their food. They had to come to us for their baby's milk. They had to come to
even as slaves.
in their household. Yes, they had to come to us to see their way through. And they still coming to us through the slavery of employment.
They even came for us for sexual pleasure. The women was raped by the white men, and so were the bucks. The bucks were cornered by the white women, and they were told, if you ever say anything, I'm going to say you raped me.
Exactly. And the thing about it is like, why is it that we spend so much time?
Give me that sponge and bring it on here.
But it's just, we gotta understand the power of us, especially us black women.
Look at me.
So powerful.
It's right there.
And we only as powerful
to the right.
as our king.
Over there.
You know, because
right there.
That, you know, why we see them getting married so young and be together forever? Yeah, we don't even get married no more. I mean, think about that. You know, it's huge because they changed now, so made like a whole alternative shift that's going to help be in their own favor and not in the favor of us as a community.
Yeah, it's like we're in a parallel universe or something. Yeah, man. What up, Goody? What up, Johan?
Good morning, Miss Kay. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so I don't get a good morning, Johan, like you just said.
Good morning, Johan. Good morning, Johan.
Good morning.
Don't do that, Johan. Yeah, I loved that nap yesterday. So this morning I'm feeling real good.
Hey y'all, I just officially bought another share of that New York property I was telling y'all about $27.37. So I took some of the money I got from I about to transfer that joint right on over. As soon as I got the $30, I transferred it over. And I just bought another share, and that's how I plan on doing it for the rest of the year. So everybody I turn on until I buy it. Yeah, I'm gonna take it, take that $10 free dollars and keep getting it up to 30. And I'm gonna get up to 100 shares at $27.30.
Hey, yo, Coach. Hey, speaking of that, y'all, listen, I don't know if y'all know, but Coach be having them plugs. So I'm using StreamYard right now. It's $50 a month. Coach sent me a link to similar software. Actually, it's kind of better. Similar software that's $100 for the lifetime fee. So one time fee $100. It's so crazy, bro, because I've been paying StreamYard for like 2 years. So I'm excited. Thank you for that.
I'm on that jump, man, because that 96-hour sale, it's only 96 hours that sale is on. So you might want to jump on that if you got it, because they're not going to do another lifetime. If they do, they're going to jump up to like 200 one time if they do it, but I highly doubt they do it. And if they do it again, it's not going to be until like next year. So, yeah, I'm just letting people know, man, you want to do things for your business. You want to have a one-time lifetime payment, where one-time payment, you ain't got to do all that monthly shit, because you want something where you're making more money than you're spending out of your business.
Hell yeah, every time. We be moving backwards too often, man. What up, Tamika?
Good morning.
Yes, we are. And the beautiful part about it is, if you have a legitimate business, you just shoot it on off to your CPA so you can write it off at the end of the year, because all of that stuff is a write-off. It's a cost to operate your business, cost of operation.
Yes, sir. Right now I'm working on getting a digital address. So I can stop using my old house because I don't even live there.
Yeah, you definitely want to get that changed up. And also go on listyourself.net. If you want to get on the 411 without paying for it, go to listyourself.net. And, put the business information in there and the address that you're intending to use, because whenever your company is going for any type of loans or grants and those creditors are looking for your address, best believe they're going to go to the 411 first. So if you're on a shoestring budget, go to listyourself.net. Listyourself.net. It's free. Don't pay for anything. I don't care if they offer you some type of pay. Don't pay for it. Use the free stuff for right now.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So get excited, man. That was Watch Your Mouth. Impact Me number 144. I don't know if y'all know I got 155 of these things just chilling in the tuck. And what I really would like to do is start doing the podcast again at 8:30 p.m. But time and scheduling and things of that nature are interfering at the moment. I just rebuilt my green room, so I'm in the green room right now. If you're watching on YouTube, that's how this background is. That's what's going on behind me. That's how this is possible, because I'm in the green room right now. Another thing, y'all. Yeah.
I was gonna ask you if it's not going to interfere with like your personal time. If like on Wednesday nights we have the joint like at either 6 Eastern Standard Time or 7 Eastern Standard Time, so that way we be in a room with Asia on Wednesday nights. We can do it. Do it every Monday through Friday. Monday through Monday, Tuesday, Thursday and Friday we do it at 8:30 or 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I just switched over, so I'm trying to get my schedule correct now. Once I figure out what I'm gonna be doing, then I'll get back, because I'm trying to prioritize this. Merch Life University launches November 11th, so that's guaranteed that I have to have a class in the evening at least once a week. But we haven't decided which day it's going to be yet. Like I said, we're still looking at different schedules and going around. How we gonna present that. So. Yeah, but we still launching November 11th though. Y'all can subscribe here or this is the only place to subscribe. So you can subscribe here for the Merch Life University, and that's what we'll be going over a bunch of. Once you subscribe, you'll get a copy of the syllabus, so you'll be able to see everything that's in there, and it's like a 3-month long curriculum. So get excited about it.
Well, I just want y'all to know the power that y'all can help me out with, just like I can help y'all out with. Whenever I step to certain like software companies, if I tell them people, yo man, because they're gonna do their research and check me out, to make sure everything is legit, and which it shows up and everything. But just think about it: the bigger the network that we all can make, and regarding anything that you're doing, the bigger the network. Take value in that network that you're building, because when I step to some of these companies and say like one of their deals might be over, man, I'll write that email to them and explain to them, I can the people that I can really, get on this.
Turn it down.
Them companies will give me, that deal, or they might charge like just a little bit more, but they'll give me the deal and then give me affiliate link. And all right, we'll go ahead and give your people, but this is just for your people. You know what I mean? They'll give me the deal to get them on for the one-time payment, while everybody else is making the monthly payments. So that's why I say it's good to build yourself a network, because the more people you have behind you, them people not going to turn you down. They're not, especially if you're infiltrating any of their businesses where you're the end user and you're using their services or products. So if they don't treat one of y'all right, then that gives all of y'all the right to tell them we leaving your company. That's their power right there.
Yes, sir. Your network is your net worth. You feel me?
Before we get out of here, I wanna tell you, man, you're so young to be so wise. It's just, it's always an honor to share space with you, man. I have no doubts about the next generation coming along, man. You're a solid leader, and they're in good hands with you. So I'm good with that. And it's an honor to have met you, my man.
Thank you, bro. That means a lot to me, man. That means a lot coming from you. You already know. And get excited, man. It's about that time. Whew. So let me go ahead and run through it, man. Let me see. Miss Cannaballs, how are you?
Oh, good morning. I am good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Who this down here? Beautiful. You got the ISIS papers as your profile picture. Thank you for reminding me of that. I need to go get that book again too, the ISIS papers.
Good morning. Yes.
Can you give us, all right, so just because that happened, and I feel like that was divine, can you give us a quick summary why we all need to read the ISIS papers?
A quick summary. I think Francis' work, along with Neely Fuller, is and I think you have to read both their works and together, gives a basic understanding of our mentality. She demonstrates, he gives you the code of conduct and how to work and how to understand white supremacy and its functionality and how it affects our lives in each area. And she gives you the why they do it. Not necessarily she gives you a better view of how the white supremacy looks at you, views you, and why they move the way they do. So I think ISIS papers really gives you a better understanding at understanding your outer enemy.
Yes.
Fuller gives you code of conduct and how to deal with that issue.
Y'all hear that, man? Dr. Francis Cress Wilson, go get the ISIS papers. And what's the other body of work that you mentioned so I can remember that as well?
Neely Fuller, compensatory concepts of white supremacy, codes of conduct, black codes. I can get the exact title. It's kind of long.
So just remember Neely Fuller, right?
Correct.
All right, bet. You already know, man. So that right there happened for a reason, y'all. If y'all didn't take heed to that, go back to my YouTube channel, watch this video again. It's only 48 minutes long. You can go see this on YouTube so you can remember what names of those books are, because the ISIS papers are super duper important, especially if you have a young black child. Super important.
You know, it's funny you said that, Merch, about young black child. And I throw emphasis on black child because that is the reason why back in them days, if you call, like my granddad used to say, you call somebody black back in the days and see if they'll beat you up over that. They literally would beat you up. Somebody's family at some point for calling them black back in the day. You want to know why? Because that's why they had the black codes. They had all of them different codes for dummies that drink Kool-Aid and drank the Kool-Aid and identified as that when they knew who their ancestors were.
Well, you know, I'm speaking for people that identify as black, so people can understand who I'm speaking to. But I'm aware about the black. I'm aware about being dead to rights. You know what I'm saying? I'm aware about the term black and why you should never hit I'm black on a job application. I'm aware about them stripping all of your rights and being 3/5 of a person if you identify as black, and that's the whole reason they ask us what race you are on everything. You know what I'm saying? I know about the Moors. I done been through it with the Moors, with the NOI, yeah, bro. I'm like, I just be doing research, man. So I could come in a room full of Muslims and speak to them from the Quran so they understand my message that I'm trying to get across. I could do it in a room of Christians, speak to them from the Bible so they understand the message I'm trying to get across. I could come in a room full of atheists and talk to them from a scientific standpoint. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I gotta be that ambidextrous type of motivational speaker because I believe that my gift from God is communication. So if I'm unable to communicate in any setting, then I'm not doing my job correctly. You feel me? And that's the importance of research, y'all. That's why you gotta go find out, live your own life, watch your own movie, like Coach taught me. Go do that research and get your own understanding. Get your own understanding, man. Because shit. Listen, some people will preach to you out the Bible and they'll be saying something that the message not even there. They some shit they made up in their head in their bathroom in the shower one day. You feel me?
Some they done heard from
And it sounds so great about it.
And it will be extra confident, right?
Right. That's the one that you gotta watch out for. It sounds so comfortable. Like fair enough. Gotta know your shit to be able to debate. So
I remember debating with my mother's pastor over whether or not his church was celebrating the Sabbath on the Sabbath. And I was the one that brought to the light in that church. We got kicked out of that church too. I was the one that brought to light that Saturday is actually the Sabbath if you're going by biblical terms. It's actually Saturday. And I could prove it from the New Testament to the Old. I could prove it from the Old Testament to the New Testament. And they were upset with me because they said that I was trying to change the leadership in there. How old was I?
Yeah.
I was 12 years old at the time.
Right.
That's the age of accountability.
I'm with my pastors because I would do the same. I'm a person. You know, I believe that we're supposed to question things. And in churches, they don't really necessarily go to Bible studies. They force me to go to Bible studies, right? So I'm in a group. Then why do the women stand up when you're actually doing a sermon that you're the call for person? Why do they interrupt? Oh, the spirit. No, because God does things in order. And he couldn't answer my question and we get mad because I would go back to the scripture where it says, when you say it's a gift, it's the gift of tongue. I said, yeah, but God does things in order. It says that. And when there's a gift of tongue, there's also the gift of interpretation. I mean, that's the children.
You got discernment. You got a bunch of different.
Oh my goodness! I said, those to me, it sounds more like those women are not necessarily speaking in tongue because nobody in the room can understand what they're saying. It's not a gift.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's not from God. They're just interrupting your service.
And you got to know that in the Bible, it tells you that the devil knows the word too. So why would the devil not come to church? They be thinking that because you in the house of God, quote unquote, that nothing bad can be there or happen, when that's actually the breeding ground for shit to happen.
his favorite place.
Exactly, it's like a prison.
My pastor used to give me some evil eyes, but you have to remember, they're all humans, just trying to, they're leading the sheep, but they're not leading it well, because when you start asking some serious questions,
they don't like that.
But it's all about mindset. Always keep that in mind. You ever heard that old saying, like when somebody go get baptized, they say, I don't know why you get baptized. Went in a wet devil, a dry devil, now a wet devil. That's the type of stuff that they'll tell you if your mindset ain't changed. And that's
when I had bro, listen, what really did it, when they really kicked me out, was when I had the sermon titled Roman Voodoo. I had a sermon titled Roman Voodoo, and I was showing people that Christianity is just Roman voodoo. I mean, you got blood sacrifice, you got the intention of making something different, you got the death and then the resurrection. You have so many different similarities in two religions, and then voodoo isn't what people think it is. It's not evil. Voodoo is a form of manifestation but you're making a sacrifice for it. So it's like how Jesus gave his blood, he died for our sins or whatever, and blood had to be shed for this decree to happen. It's the same thing in voodoo. It's the same thing when you kill a chicken and you say, yo, I need $100 because I'm short on the rent, and I'm gonna sacrifice this chicken to this god or that god or whatever the case may be, and we're gonna do this dance, and we're gonna have music, and we're gonna call it a ritual, and then we're going to receive something for giving something, right? It's the same thing. It's pretty much the same principle in all religion. Because, I mean,
but voodoo is also the result of what happens when you use religion to oppress. And you still have people who are believers in faith, and they need to express that faith. But because of the oppression that you try to use to lock them into your religion, they find alternate ways to do it. Voodoo, much like capoeira, was in response to Christian European oppression over otherwise individual African people, and trying to put their religion.
Santeria is the same way.
Yeah. And the best way to get people to distance themselves from something like that is to demonize it and tell you it's scary and tell you it's bad and tell you it's evil.
And a snake is bad.
They won't tell you that Christianity was evil in the way that it went out in trying to repopulate itself. No, they'll tell you that the response to that evil was evil.
Hey, Cannabis and Miss Beautiful. Hey, Sarah, good morning. I couldn't get to y'all fast enough. But you know what? One of the most disheartening things actually happened to me on a church ground by a so-called Christian. And she decided to work with my kid's father to get my kids taken away from me because she thought that I had more money than I had at that time. Because, you know, when you're an insurance broker, you just getting started out. It takes time for you to really get your first check from a big company because you got to go through underwriting and all this other stuff. But because she thought I had way more money than I had at that time, she decided to work with my kid's father to have them taken away from me because she said that I said I wasn't stable enough to have my own kids when I never went without having my own place except for I had a situation with a guy that I didn't know something about and I loved him. So I did like an abrupt leave, but she utilized that moment as like a tool of really, she disrupted my whole life. So I don't go into church like I used to no more. It's kind of hard. Even when I go into church, it's like I want to go, but my spirit will not let me dwell there because I now know that the church lives within me.
I'm glad.
Okay, I feel like a lot of our people need to do that. Any coach, tell her, please.
I'm glad she said that. I'm glad you said that, age at the end, because I was going to tell you, every day that you think of the goodness and you think of helping and being that good person you are in church that very moment.
That part. You are living for Christ just by being who you are and breathing the air and being as good as you can be. Let me tell you something, right? I always, you notice that the word that they say backsliding, you know that backsliding word that you hear in the church song? We ain't seen you for a few months. What's happening? You're backsliding, right? I used to honestly come in and come out, come in and come out. And I had, in my early 20s, I think it was like 3 months to figure out what the fuck keeps making me deter myself from church. And when I really assessed this shit, I realized, because I was fasting and praying in that time, so they may think I'm backsliding, but you don't know what's in my home. Are you God? Can you see what's happening in my life? You know, those that go to church on Sundays religiously, but they were in the club on Saturday, you know, those, just because they go every week, don't mean they're any better than I am, because I haven't shown up for 3 months. What am I doing when I haven't been here? That's what you have to really look at yourself for. And I made that final decision because my pastor, I had, during that fast, I came back, right? My pastor, nobody wants responsibilities. I had life to deal with. I didn't want no responsibility because I'm going to be honest with you, I did not care. Right, but God gave me the vision that my skills that He gave me in life with working with children would be best served in the church because they didn't have a youth ministry. You understand? And so I told him that, and he goes, let's you haven't been here for a bit. Let me see how you act. You know, let me see. He didn't say it like that, but basically he was saying he wants to watch me and see how consistent I am, and then he'll talk about it. Instead, as a man of God, what he should have said is, I'm a prayer man, because I told him that God gave you that. I don't want that, but that's what God's telling me. So, me personally, what he should have done was that, right? Rather than say, let me see what the fake acting I can do to convince you, the head of this church, of why I should do this. Instead of saying, let me pray on it, let me get the same discernment from God. Right, and that was the catalyst for me. I was like, I'm good. Humans are flawed, and I can't stay in a place. That's what kept me from going in and out, because the interactions with people of the church bothered me so much that I just couldn't. It was confusing, and like I said with that scripture, the Bible says that God is not a God of confusion. He does that purposely when He's doing that. You understand? But if there's a plan behind it, right? And I just had to go. So I learned that I'm a body of Christ. Wherever I go, how I behave, there is a higher power because He's shown me who He is, and I don't give a fuck. I don't care about religion. I don't call myself Christian. If I read the Bible, it will be the Old Testament only because we call them Abraham religions. as far as I'm concerned. But the New Testament, he can kick rock.
Hey, yo, but that's what I was getting ready to tell them, too. Like, it's so funny how people use, like, the same thing, but they'll give it different names with all the word spells and shit. But if you look at the Old Testament, that's part of the Torah. Or if not,
and if you look at the original, originally the Bible had 170 books in it. The King James version originally had 70 books in it. And if you look at the books that were taken out, they were taken out for a reason. You got the book of Enoch that tells you that we're not the only thing that exists in this universe, life form wise. You got the book of Enoch, the third book of Enoch, that also talks about Enoch leaving the planet. It's so many books that are missing from the current version of the Bible that we have now that I could never doing my research, I could never understand why religion is set up the way it is. I do know why, but you know
why. I was gonna say, yeah, you do know why.
It's the control mechanism behind it.
Exactly. They pick and choose what they want to control the mass.
It's like if my 4-year-old asked me how are babies made, I'm not about to tell her the fucking truth. I'm about to tell her what I want her to know at this moment.
Let's look at man and woman. Just man and woman. The simplest things of sexes. When we talk about black women are living too much in their masculinity and they need to let a man be a man. You know what makes us human beings by nature, right? Want to be led. Just by nature, right? And the male species, right, want to dominate, right? If you get what I'm saying. So religion, because if you know that and you're a scholar who went to Africa and learned all of this, all of the information, that's what they did. They decided to see what we would use to our benefit to lead the masses. Period, point blank.
Yep. And I learned from the best, man. That's exactly what I do with entrepreneurs, except for it's not solely for my benefit. It's for the benefit of others, because I can no longer benefit if I gain a bunch of things from people and they don't gain anything from me. Like for example, the I Am the Author class, where I teach people how to become a self-published author. If I just collected your money and didn't teach you shit, nobody else is coming to the class next month, because now I don't have reviews that say, hey, I learned something in this class. Hey, I published a book, or I'm a best-selling author now. Without those reviews, I don't get more clients. You see what I'm saying? So what they did with the religion is they got the reviews from people saying, oh yeah, this saved my life or that saved my life. When you're literally using the magic that was already inside of you. When somebody tells you, hey, you should go pray for this and you should ask for this, and then you should sit back and hope it happens. We just talked about watching your mouth. The reason you're gaining what you asked for is because you fucking asked for it. When people say, I said Jesus and then something changed, something happened. First of all, that wasn't even the guy's name. So yes, there's power in the name of Jesus, but it's not outside of you. The power is in you, because that wasn't even his name. So you could say Jeffrey and make some shit happen. You could say Beatrice or Agatha and make some shit happen, because the power is within you. God is inside of you.
With the amount of money the Christian religion immerses every year from all the amount of churches that give tithes and offerings, we as a black community should not be struggling. It's so sad. It hurts my heart.
Asia, I would say that, so religion is a dangerous subject, right? Whenever you talk about religion and spirituality, you get into dangerous territory because people hold their own beliefs. I would recommend to you that churches are nothing more than places filled with people. And if you rely on people or rely on buildings, then you'll always be disappointed, because man is flawed. But if you only function from your own individual relationship with God, you run into a different danger, which is you ultimately believe yourself to be a God. We both need others and need the focus on God in order to develop whatever that relationship is for you. So I would say be careful of being at either extreme.
I agree. I would say you definitely have to have a balance in knowing that God is within you, but also knowing that you ain't the most high.
we all need trials. We need to find pride. That's what I was saying. We are, as human nature, naturally need to be led or seek other. You're right. Seek other human company, right? But the reality is, you're right. With the whole flawedness of men, that was what made me deter. And once you get that knowledge, though, it's valuable because now you can pivot from that.
But Jay, you said something you said a key word though that is like the most important out of all of it. It's balance. It's the yin and the yang. It's always about balance. Other cultures, they really value that, and we don't. A lot of us are just not balanced in nothing, and that's where we got to work on. And that thing about what you were saying about Jesus, that not being the name, that's just what we were taught to be an anchor, because that's all voodoo is. It's an anchor for people to elevate their mind. All of this stuff that we're dealing with, the different signs we see, the symbols and all that, is all about elevating your mind. That's why symbols are the most important things in the world. Icons, symbols, you know what I'm saying? So it's all about people really waking up and seeing that everything that they operate from and all of their reality and anything that they see or don't see or feel or smell or do smell, you know what I'm saying? It's from their mind first. It's not even what they see, man. It's their mind. Can you see air? You can see something moving, but that don't mean you see the air. You're just seeing the result of what the air is doing. When you breathe, are you seeing that air? No, you just expect it because you know that's our eco system, how it's supposed to, you know what I'm saying, how it's supposed to be. But that's the reason why I can never lose my faith or belief in a higher power in God, because you can't explain everything. Everything's not supposed to be explained. You just have to learn how to, use the machine and keep it oiled and maximize. That's it. Balance.
Yep.
Knowledge without understanding is the issue. We're learning so much in these rooms, but what we also need to remember is that when you gain all this knowledge, you have to fully digest it and build on it and go away and do your own research to get the full understanding, because you're powerless. You have all this knowledge, but you don't have the understanding. It's futile.
Yep, it's futile because if you can't apply it, then what did you need to learn it for, right?
But this is my thing though. I want to leave it off with this. This is the last thing I'm gonna say on this. I know that if that sun that got it bright outside right now, if that sun was a leave or was to die and never come back, so would we and everything else. So that right there is the everlasting sun or everlasting rock. So that's how I feel. I mean, believe me, I know like that can be God's everlasting sun. He put it there. Why do you think they have an eye? What does the sun look like to you? You really can't look at it, but when you look at it, what does it look like? An eye. People wake up, man. These folks been playing games and running game on it big time. All of these stuffs are allegories. You know what I mean? But it's just a basic instruction before leaving Earth. Somebody heard me say that a couple weeks ago, and I noticed there was a title in the hallway.
Yeah, they be doing a room entitled that now.
I like that they took that and ran with it. I love saying that happened. I don't want credit for it. I just know that I remember saying that because it was said to me a long time ago. But that's all the Bible is. Basic instruction before leaving Earth.
All right, and with that in mind, when you look at the Bible, look at the real version of the Bible. Look at the Ethiopian Bible, the original Bible, the first Bible with 150 something books in it. Look at that Bible and ask yourself, well, why was this book removed? Well, why that book ain't in the King James version? Well, why is this man? Andrew Jackson got his own version of the Bible. After the Ethiopian Bible, there have been 300 different versions of the Bible by different kings, different rulers, different. It's basically like, yo, if you run a country, now you need to rewrite the Bible. Kanye West did it too. Kanye West got a yay Bible where he replaced yay. He replaced the word God with yay, and everywhere it says God.
They got a Queen's James version. What are you talking about? They had that joint out about almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I love y'all. Let's kind of this. You are blessed and highly favored. Your daughters are beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
You are totally welcome. Oh my, look at
man.
those cute chocolate babies. Oh, they are super beautiful. You got problems on your hand now.
Gotta get a shotgun.
Keep me busy.
Yeah, you gotta get a shotgun. But all right, y'all, I'm finna get up out of here. You already know. Thank you, JD Clark. Thank you, Monifa. Thank you, Aja. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Levon. Thank you, Cannibals. Thank you, Johan. Thank you, Gaming. Thank you, everyone that came through and that's not here anymore.
Merch, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, I just want to share something with you guys. I just came in. I'm not new to fan base. I was on fan base with a different profile, and I deleted that, and I came back, and I went through a journey where my faith has been uplifted, and it has been different. I don't really talk much about faith, but lately I've been walking by faith and not by sight, and I used to be scared telling people what changed in my belief and in my religion, and I became Muslim. I took my shahada, which is basically my faith believing into the Islam community, and I'm starting to see that I've been through a lot of journey. I was born Christian. I believe in Christianity for many years. Something happened and I fell off. I went into spirituality, and I was like, everything's spirituality, now I fell off. But something dramatically happened in my life where I was completely lost. And I'm a type of person that I respect everybody's faith and beliefs, and I don't throw that. And I'm not that type of person. Be like, no, you need to believe on this, you need to believe on that. I'm in a place where I'm believing that we all have faith and we all believe in something. And that's when we have faith and we believe in something, we get messages, we get connected with things that's helping us in the world. And I started understanding, and I'm getting more closer with my faith, and I'm having a different sight in life. And I'm leading my life by faith, not by sight anymore. And I just want to say that sometimes we get lost in translation and we ask for people for advice, but honestly, sometimes we just have to connect with our faith. We definitely have to watch our mouths. We really have to be careful with what we say and how we connect with others, because sometimes we're so strong on people and they don't like it. They feel threatened. They feel like we're bothering them. But I just want to say that everything that we believe in is true. And I say it's true because it's what we believe in. You're not wrong for believing the way you believe on what you believe. I hope that makes sense. Because the world, a lot of things is happening externally, and we have to start internally. And our mouths, our words are strong and they're powerful. And yes, and I agree with you guys that even through life, many things have been changed. And even in faith, a lot of things have been changed. And we believe in all of these things. But I just want to say that I appreciate that you guys are actually saying something about watch your mouth, and you guys are talking about faith, because for me, my life, I don't know tomorrow. I know today. I may not even know the next hour. I just know this present moment. And with what happened in my life, it was the last time I hurt myself physically as I deal with mental health. And I hurt myself where I took a bunch of pills and I put it all together. And I'm just sharing this because I'm not trying to give you a horrible image. I want you guys to understand why I do what I do. And I dub myself the gaming motivator. I love games, and I used to motivate people. That's what I used to do here. I was here as Santana, but I just found games and I found faith, and it's different now. But if my girlfriend didn't turn around that day, I probably wouldn't be talking to you guys. And when that happened, it was just like, wow. I lived for 30 years on emotions, no faith. I said I had faith, but I wasn't believing in it. But now that I'm believing my faith, I actually every single day, I watch what I say and I watch what I do, because I'm tired of hurting people, because I realized that I was hurting people, I was hurting myself more. And I just want to say thank you for this. And
I'll do my best to be around more often and hang around the whole rooms and get connected again with everybody here, because fan base is awesome. We're given a platform where we can talk and we can feel like there's no boundaries on how we express ourselves. And I really appreciate that. And I just want to say thank you for the room and thank you for the opportunity to definitely speak. I'll try to be more proactive and I'll try to relearn the app. So thank you so much. And
Hey man, welcome back.
Welcome.
Nobody good, man.
I would like to speak when everybody get done.
Oh, no doubt. But I just want you to know we're about speaking life to each other, bro.
Yes, sir.
As long as you're about that, we with you, man, all the way. But go ahead, Monique. It's good to hear you speak.
So good morning to everyone that I haven't spoke to. Basically, what I was getting on here to say is that I really needed that message today. Like over the past couple of weeks, I've been going through like a really bad storm, and I'm trying to keep myself up. Hold on, give me a second.
Well, shit, you know every storm runs out of rain. I think she got a phone call.
It does, but it's just like when one leaves, another one comes, and when that one comes, it's worse than the last one, and it's like so much stuff be happening within a couple of hours, a couple of days, and I'm trying to keep my faith, and I do have faith. I feel like I have faith, but sometimes I do talk negative towards myself, not towards others, because I'm always uplifting others, even when I'm down or whatever. But it's when you're going through it yourself, it's different. No matter how positive you speak to others, for some reason I do not know why. Well, for me, I do not know why, but it's just like it is worse for me than it is helping out someone else. But I'm keeping my faith, and I'm gonna keep going, and I'm gonna keep moving. I'm gonna get to where I need to be. They work. They help a lot.
Can I speak something to you?
Yeah.
Can I speak something to her right now?
Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. And I want to say this to you from somebody who's hit rock bottom, and I resonated with you, how you're feeling. I learned a long time ago, God does not give his strongest soldiers, as they say, right, the weakest positions. You may feel like everything is so bad. I'm telling you, everything that you're going through, he already knows you can handle. And you just have to get to that point where you know that. And when I say that with experience. I was at my lowest point in 2019. And if you don't know me in this room, I have a tech startup. And that was founded on that low point. So the lower you go, once you connect and understand that you were built for that point, because most people would not survive. And that's why you're here telling us this story, because you're a survivor and you revel in that. This conversation will resonate with you later. Get there. You'll get there.
Thank you. I appreciate saying that. And I also wanted to say, just remember this, Monisha. You are the seed. No matter how low you go, you're going to make a root there, and you're going to grow right back up. And also, I want you to realize this. Put your mental, hold on. I don't care what type of storm it comes. Put your mental Timberland boots on, and you put on that mental raincoat. Because first off, I want you to stop expecting them storms. That's the first thing I want you to change your mindset. You know what I mean? I want you to stop expecting them storms, because that was the first thing I heard you saying when you were speaking. You were saying, like, it's always something that, no, that right there ends today. If it's going to be something after another, it's going to be a door opening, another door opening for you. That's going to be positive. When one door shuts, it's going to be many more that open for you. That's the mindset I want you to be on. Okay? So, believe me, you have what it takes Because like Johan said, God wouldn't have gave you, he wouldn't have put you there. I know it. I've been in that position before where I could have seen 20 years of my life taken away if a certain pistol had been found on me. But God made sure that it didn't. Because I told him, I broke down, and I kept myself from crying in front of the police and everything. I said, God, you said you wouldn't put no more on me than I can bear. I said, I can't bear this right now. Like, the feeling comes back to me even now telling you about it. I couldn't bear that. And God said, don't worry, say no more. And that police officer rubbed his hand across that gun and did not feel it. So believe me, yo, you here for a reason, and you were in this room for a reason. And there's nothing but up from here.
Exactly. The only way is up. When you're in that low point, that's what I took from my several downs. I realized that it's always an up, right? Because if you think about, you get to the bottom of the ocean, the deepest part of the ocean, the only thing naturally to do is to come up. And so know that your come up is coming.
Yeah, Monifa, I got a meeting called Breakthrough. Oh, go ahead.
I was just getting ready to ask her if she can share her email address because I'd like to communicate some things with her.
Thank you guys, and I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, she definitely the one to give you that game, man. She got a lot of game. And Monifa, the one thing I was gonna say, man, listen, your breakthrough always happens right after your breakdown. The hardest point always happens right before this house that I'm in right now. This is the nice. I'm trying to tell you, this is the nicest house that I have ever lived in my entire life. But I just was homeless for 70 days right before that. So like really, really fathom what that means. You feel me? The lowest point you at is going to bring you to your highest point. And I say that over and over again because it gets the hardest right before it gets the easiest. Think about having a baby when you giving birth, right? You giving birth, they say that birth is the closest thing to death besides sleep. You got to go all the way this close to death just to bring about a whole new life, a whole person that's going to live another life and create another life, right? Think about pretty much anything you got to do that's difficult. It always gets the most difficult right before it gets better. When you baking a cake, you got to put all of the ingredients in a bowl and then put it in the oven. That sloppy cake juice is nothing before it gets put into that 350 degree oven. So right now you in the oven, Monifa, that's all. You just in the oven. And next time something happened to you, just laugh at it and just be like, yo, I can't wait to get what I'm supposed to get out of this. Just laugh at it and say, yo, I know you testing me because I'm finna pass. Just laugh at it and be like, man, this is just catapult. You in a slingshot right now, Monifa. You're only being held back so that you can spring forward even further. Get excited about it. Yes.
I resonate with your story, man. I do. Because for real, you was homeless, so was I. And the storm, what they say, the calm before the storm, and then what comes after.
And it's so divine, y'all. When I talk about the calm before the storm, because we literally were in like the Hurricane Ian. So we paid the money to move into this crib. Hurricane Ian came and they was like, yo, y'all can't move into the hurricane passes. So we literally had to wait for a literal storm to pass. After our figuratively spiritual storm happened, we like, yeah, it's over. No more hotels, blah, blah, blah. They like, nah, just you got 3 more days in that hotel. So like we really had to wait for an actual storm. That's the craziest part.
Mark, can I ask a quick question that I don't want to break up the conversation, but I wanted to be able to follow your camp. Do you have a camp set up yet?
I don't. I don't even know how to do that on here, but I can make one. But
Well, I'm asking because I know you have a lot of different rooms that you host, and camp might make it easier to follow them. So Asia was actually the one who showed a bunch of us how to do it last night. But you can open your rooms up under your camp so that instead of trying to figure out when you have whatever rooms, anyone who's in your following will be notified whenever you open any type of room under that camp.
Oh, that's lit, because I got 3 fan base accounts. So
Yeah,
I need to
so
open up all of them rooms.
it would help out the rest of us who want to continue to hear these wise words of yours if you had a camp, and if when you go in the hallway in the top right corner, if you see a flame and like logs looking like a campfire, that means that you could click on that, and it's pretty much easy to walk through how to set up your camp. If you don't see it, then you have to delete the app and then reload the app, and then you should see that symbol that I just described. You can still open rooms the way you normally do, but it just makes it easier for folks who want to follow all of your content to be notified, and you can use the camps to open up rooms.
That's what's up.
Appreciate that.
That's for anybody, but I was searching for camps. We opened camps last night. You can open up to 3 camps if you really want to, but you could also just use one camp to be the umbrella organization for everything you do. And I definitely think the type of information you share should be under a camp, and you want to establish that now as the app is growing, so that people can always sort of rely on that.
Yes, ma'am. I will do so. I'm gonna delete this joint right after this room because I don't see it, but I need an update.
I was already a beat.
I'm looking forward to the days where, because the ability to share rooms are going to be so much more profound as that grows. That where one day you're in there and you see 500 people, my gosh, that just, because you don't no longer have to individually invite, you know?
Yeah, that'd be taking forever.
Well, it was definitely a great room. I had a lot of great insight and learned a lot and shared a lot. And I really appreciated everything from all of y'all. So, y'all have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. I love y'all. Thank y'all for coming through, man. I'm Merch Life J, motivational, inspirational speaker for parapreneurs across the globe. And I'll see y'all tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Get excited.